Okay, so I want to talk about something that is a little bit tricky and difficult, and I'm going to try and thread together things that do that might it just might be my imagination over working itself. Igama lami ndinguvuyo Lethu. I am a writer and I am based in Johannesburg. I have been working in the digital space for like the past I mean I guess like since like 2009 2010, since like the blogging era. I have seen a lot. I have lived from Tumblr to Twitter, and now I am, I even had a MySpace account. Like, I am an OG. Shout out to Jane Radomir. Okay, cool. So I mean, I've just been that girly, that was, just I lived through a time where I had no internet. And I remember my first time being on the internet. I was in a chat room with my best friend at her dad's office, and we were just talking to randos, and we were being so crude, and we were being particularly mean. But anyways, the internet has also just become a space, for like a whole, bunch of things to happen, and community and all of that, right? And right now, I think we are at such an interesting place when it comes to the social media landscape, and each and every day it gets ickier and ickier. And I want to talk about something that I kind of see on TikTok. Um, TikTok, which doesn't exist in its form in the country which it is created in, right? So we all know that we have TikTok. Wait, I just want to. Okay, so okay, so TikTok within China, TikTok, or the TikTok match, is known as Douyin. And Douyin is very, very different from what you would typically see on TikTok. We've heard different things about Douyin. We've heard that, the content is very different. It's not just dancing, stupidity, and drunk people. It is actually a lot of educational content. There's a lot of patriotic content. There's also apparently limited screen time. Whereas, apa ibang wire. I had to actually lock away my TikTok app so that I'm not like constantly getting notifications, because the constant notifications is also something that drives you to like opening the app. And sometimes the notifications can be a little bit misleading. Another element I find super misleading about TikTok is the search element, right? And also the suppression of videos that talk about certain things. This brings me to the fact that those people, or whatever moderators or whatever, actually know and have an idea when content is inappropriate, because the fact that you can dictate what people can see in China and dictate what people can see in Africa is, like the standards are varying, and this brings me to the computers crash sound, where we were seeing people who are essentially intoxicated. We were seeing family arguments. We were seeing people in very dangerous and weird situations, and it brought about a lot of questions which were answered when it was discovered how much money South Africans spent on alcohol in December, right? So for me, it's like to and it was interesting because once I like saw like one of those videos, and I maybe like commentate like, what the hell is this, or whatever, like even if I made a negative comment, somehow TikTok assumes that I like it, and then it keeps on feeding me more. And I have like actually used I used the sound. I used the sound for something else, but I was actually talking about how, you know, as you progress along like your drinking career, one of the worst things that you can do is actually opt for cheap alcohol, because then you are actually making yourself a lot more vulnerable now to very like serious full blown alcoholism. And I think for me, I really really find it interesting, and then it also comes together in my head somewhere with this ban that America is doing on TikTok. Because if like the way I see it is that the place where TikTok was made, TikTok is also banned, because there is no TikTok there. There's Douyin, right? And America is banning TikTok, and apparently it's going to be replaced by something called Lemonade. Um, and I guess maybe then now, creators are going to be moved over there. This I found incredibly, interesting, in that maybe I know that for a lot of people it's like TikTok is everything to them, right? Like they wake up in the morning, they're gonna do their TikTok story time, and they're gonna be doing this and that and that and the third. But I where does this okay. You see, this is what happens, NG. Okay. But I feel there's something there. Building our own social media platforms. I remember there was a time where in South Africa apps were the thing. Like everybody was building an app. Even Bonang had an app, guys. Like it was app. Now I'm my apps. Guys, I'm feeling that we need to go back to that era. We need to go back to, I don't know if there are any like, African, made social media sites. Let's Google African social media apps. Okay, so you've got Social Africa. Okay, we'll give it a try. Maybe we'll give it a try. And there's Agbora, which is also an African social network. So I think, these could also be things that we try, and things that we attempt. Like attempt to use sort of local African, more of those social media networks. I mean, because I just feel, I think YouTube is one thing, but I just feel there is a certain level of toxicity that resides on TikTok, and there is also a very sinister element to TikTok. The fact that I can barely search for something and get really accurate results. The fact that it feels like their algorithm has ADD. Like, I will search for something and I swear to God, 3 videos down, it's a completely different video of something that is trending. And obviously, because I'm the person I am, I'm a party pooper, I am a buzzkill. I search for super serious things. I'm probably doing research, or maybe, maybe you're searching regarding a certain GBV case or something like that, and maybe you're trying to see that person's profile. Maybe you're trying to see, I'm not saying you're trying to see gruesome things, but you are also searching for serious information. Now, oh yes, I also feel that, okay, in as much as America wants to kick TikTok out, they are still dealing with Facebook and X, which, again, once again, I'm like, dude, like, what is it with this domination? The fact that, I was just saying yesterday to my partner, like, I wake up in the morning, I'm on WhatsApp. I'm going to get out of WhatsApp, and then I'm going to open Instagram, and then I'm going to get out of Instagram, and then I'm going to open Facebook, and then I have to open Meta Business Suite. It's like, why is my life being controlled by Mark Zuckerberg? That is some super, super scary nonsense that I just thought, you know, maybe if I get it off my chest, maybe maybe things will change and things will transform. But anyways, yeah, let's try out more South African social networks or African based social networks. If we are based in Africa, if you're based in India, try out like an Indian one. Like maybe let's try to kind of bring these things back into really what they were meant to be, which was about connecting community, because I mean, I remember a time on Facebook where, it wasn't just about like just being, on the PC. There are people that, I met on Facebook and then we met in person, and we've been friends like since, like, hey, how did you meet? Oh, we met on Facebook. What? But now, like, now everything sucks. Like, you will be looking at a photo and you're going to be asking yourself, like, is this AI? And I just feel like that shit sucks. Like, it feels like you're living in an unreal world. Um, and it also feels like things are being controlled by the few. And this whole thing of like, globalized systems, and this whole thing of just, these rich guys just wanting to take everything and buy everything and do whatever the fuck they want. I honestly think it's time to just kind of get out of the user slash NPC mentality, and kind of, start seeing how we can create our own safe online spaces, like we did. Like, I mean, I know the forums were not pleasant, but I just feel like at least with the forums you could navigate around and eventually find your safe space. The trolls will always be there. Trolling will always be there. We will always be tempted to troll because the internet had a certain level of anonymity, because now that aspect of anonymity is also coming into question, because we know that our data is being sold to the highest bidder. Like, guys, we are going through a lot. Like, no wonder we as South Africans even forgot that it was elections last year, and the fact that we are stuck in a farce of a GNU. Like, I don't even want to delve into that one. But anyways,